The big change: Liam Hemsworth takes over as Geralt. When Henry Cavill stepped away from The Witcher after Season 3, it marked one of the most dramatic recasts in modern streaming history. Liam Hemsworth, best known for The Hunger Games and The Last Song, officially inherited the role of Geralt of Rivia for both Season 4 and the confirmed 5th and final season. Netflix's announcement emphasized that Hemsworth was chosen for his physicality, charisma, and commitment to honoring the essence of the White Wolf rather than imitating Cavill's version. Showrunner Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich described Hemsworth's debut as a new yet familiar take on Geralt, promising that the tone and emotional depth of the character will remain intact despite the shift in actor. Behind the scenes, the creative team reportedly redesigned Geralt's armor and overall look to complement Hemsworth's build and energy, signaling a subtle evolution in both the performance and the visual presentation. Early reactions from cast members, including Freya Allan and Anya Chalotra, have been positive, both praising Hemsworth's dedication and physical preparation during the long production shoot. While skepticism remains among some fans, the upcoming season aims to prove that The Witcher's legacy transcends any single actor. Release date and production timeline. Filming for the 4th season began in early 2024 at Longcross Studios in the UK and wrapped in late 2024, marking the start of a new production phase for Netflix's flagship fantasy series. Both Season 4 and Season 5 were shot back-to-back to maintain continuity and manage the large-scale war storyline that spans the final 2 arcs. Netflix officially confirmed that The Witcher Season 4 will premiere on October 30th, 2025, with all 8 episodes arriving simultaneously. Post-production started immediately after wrapping, focusing on visual effects, reshoots, and sound design to enhance the new cinematography tone described as grittier and more cinematic. The timeline also allows for strategic pacing between releases. The animated prequel, The Witcher: Sirens of the Deep, is set for February 2025, bridging fans between seasons. With the show's massive scope and dual-season production, Season 4's release represents the series' most ambitious rollout yet. Returning cast members. Nearly all major characters who survived the events of Season 3 are confirmed to return, ensuring a strong sense of continuity despite the major lead recast. Freya Allan resumes her role as Princess Ciri, whose transformation from fugitive to warrior takes center stage. Allan hinted that Ciri's journey this season will explore darker moral choices and the cost of freedom. Anya Chalotra returns as Yennefer of Vengerberg, now leading the rebuilding of Aretuza after the Mage Uprising, while Joey Batey reprises his fan-favorite role as Jaskier, once again serving as both comic relief and Geralt's emotional anchor. Additional returning faces include Eamon Farron as the conflicted Nilfgaardian Knight, Cahir, Anna Schaffer as Triss Merigold, Mimi M. Kaisa as Fringilla Vigo, Cassie Clare as Philippa Eilhart, Graham McTavish as Dijkstra, Mahesh Jadoo as the scheming Vilgefortz, and Mitya Simpson as Francesca, Queen of the Elves. Bart Edwards also returns as Emperor Emir Varim Reis, along with Hugh Skinner as King Radovid of Redania. The ensemble's consistency allows the story to continue seamlessly from Season 3's cliffhanger, where alliances fractured and the continent descended into open war. Each character now faces higher stakes. Geralt's fractured companions must navigate shifting loyalties, while Yennefer's circle of mages struggles for unity amid political chaos. With these familiar figures reprising their roles, the emotional weight of past betrayals and ambitions will carry directly into Season 4's larger-scale conflicts. New and recast roles. Season 4 introduces a powerful wave of new faces and key recasts that expand the scope of The Witcher's world. Among the most anticipated additions is Lawrence Fishburne as Regis, a higher vampire and one of Geralt's most complex allies from Baptism of Fire. Netflix describes him as a barber surgeon with centuries of wisdom and a dark past. Charlton Copley joins the cast as Leo Bonhart, the ruthless bounty hunter notorious for killing witchers and collecting their medallions. His presence suggests a brutal subplot involving Ciri's arc with the rats. James Purefoy plays Stefan Skellen, a cunning Nilfgaardian spy and advisor to Emperor Emir, while Danny Woodburn portrays Zoltan Shivai, a fan-favorite dwarven veteran who fought alongside Geralt in the novels. Another significant update is the recasting of Vesemir. Peter Mullen replaces Kim Bodnia as Geralt's mentor, reportedly due to scheduling conflicts. These new characters reshape the show's power dynamics. Regis and Zoltan bring moral complexity and camaraderie to Geralt's quest, while Bonhart and Skellen embody the relentless human corruption threatening the continent. Several minor roles, including Clive Russell, Lyndon Porco, and Eve Ridley, remain undisclosed, likely tied to the Northern Kingdom's political turmoil. Collectively, these cast changes mark a transition toward a broader ensemble narrative, one that leans heavier on character-driven war drama, philosophical conflict, and the blurred lines between monsters and men. Plot setup. After Season 3, the story picks up immediately after the chaos of Season 3, with the continent engulfed in open war and the main trio scattered across different paths. Geralt, still recovering from near-fatal wounds inflicted by Vilgefortz, begins his healing in Brokilon Forest under the care of dryads. Once regaining his strength, he sets off southward with Jaskier and Milva, determined to find and rescue Ciri from Nilfgaard's clutches. This journey becomes a defining arc, forcing Geralt to reconcile his neutrality with the growing realization that the war can no longer be ignored. Meanwhile, Yennefer faces the aftermath of the destruction at Aretuza. With the mage stronghold in ruins and the Brotherhood of Sorcerers dissolved, she assumes leadership among the surviving mages, vowing to rebuild their order and restore balance to a world consumed by political ambition. Her new mission, to unify magic users against both Nilfgaard and rogue factions, marks a turning point in her evolution from self-serving sorceress to reluctant leader. Ciri's path diverges most dramatically. After escaping through a portal to the Korath Desert, she adopts the alias Falka and falls in with the Rats, a band of young outlaws led by Giselher. Torn between survival and morality, she begins embracing her darker impulses, unaware that her true identity as the prophesied child of Elder Blood is drawing powerful forces toward her. These three parallel storylines set the foundation for the continent's coming storm in Season 4. Storylines in Season 4. The continent is at its breaking point as war, prophecy, and destiny collide across three intersecting storylines. Geralt's arc becomes the emotional backbone of the season. Now free from his self-imposed neutrality, he journeys through war-torn lands with Jaskier and Milva, forming a small but determined company bound for Nilfgaard. Along the way, he will meet new allies like Regis and Zoltan, characters who challenge his views on morality, monsters, and redemption. Geralt's quest is no longer about contracts or coin. It's about saving Ciri and confronting the chaos that threatens to consume their world. Ciri's path follows a harsher transformation. Living under the name Falka, she becomes part of the Rats, a gang of young rebels whose violent world forces her to question her own nature. Her Elder Blood powers grow stronger and more dangerous, hinting that her destiny may be far greater than even she realizes. Meanwhile, Yennefer leads the surviving sorceresses in rebuilding the magical order at Aretuza, fighting to unify a fractured continent against Nilfgaard's conquest. Her political and magical battles parallel Geralt's physical journey, creating a three-way narrative that mirrors the book's structure. Emperor Emhyr's growing empire, King Radovid's Redanian ambitions, and Francesca's elven uprising all intertwine to create a web of shifting loyalties and looming tragedy. Every thread moves toward an inevitable convergence, one that promises to redefine the balance of power across the continent. Adaptation and book parallels. The show's fourth season takes direct inspiration from Baptism of Fire, the third novel in Andrzej Sapkowski's main Witcher saga, while also setting up elements from The Tower of the Swallow. Much like the novels, the story follows Geralt's journey to rescue Ciri as he gathers a new company of allies, Regis, Milva, Zoltan, and eventually Cahir. Their dynamic mirrors the book's Hansa, a traveling group defined by loyalty, tension, and shared purpose. Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich confirmed that Season 4 will stay closer to the novels than previous seasons, but will still adapt certain threads for television pacing and cinematic tension. The season deepens its focus on found family, political betrayal, and the destructive nature of prophecy. Ciri's storyline, now intertwined with the Rats, expands on off-book material but remains emotionally rooted in Sapkowski's tone. Season 5 will continue this adaptation arc, concluding the saga with the Lady of the Lake. The Wild Hunt, Vilgefortz, and Chaos. Vilgefortz remains the central antagonist driving the continent toward ruin. After his betrayal in Season 3, his ambitions become clearer. He seeks to harness Ciri's Elder Blood to manipulate chaos on a level no mage has ever achieved. His experiments on elves and obsession with ancient monoliths suggest he's after power beyond political control, perhaps the ability to reshape worlds themselves. Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich hinted that Season 4 will peel back the layers of his motives, exposing when and why he allied with Emperor Emhyr and how far his betrayal extends. Meanwhile, rumors of the spectral Wild Hunt grow stronger. Though not officially confirmed for major appearances this season, fans expect brief glimpses or foreshadowing as the Hunt's leader, Eredin, senses Ciri's energy across dimensions. Netflix has avoided the multiverse label, but the story's use of portals and Elder Blood energy will naturally expand the magical mythology. As chaos surges, Yennefer's efforts to restore the mage's order collide with the spreading corruption caused by Vilgefortz's influence. Ciri's untamed power and Geralt's moral clarity stand as the last counterbalance to the mage's apocalyptic ambitions. If he succeeds, the fragile barrier between worlds could shatter, unleashing consequences even the Wild Hunt cannot control. Behind the scenes and creative direction. Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich continues to lead the creative team as showrunner, ensuring narrative cohesion between seasons 4 and 5. The writer's room expanded to include several returning contributors from previous seasons, particularly those behind the emotionally charged episodes Dear Friend and The Last Wish. Their goal this time is to balance the grim war narrative with character-driven storytelling that highlights Geralt's humanity and Ciri's coming of age. Visually, Season 4 adopts a more cinematic tone. The production team has emphasized practical effects, authentic medieval landscapes, and tighter fight choreography designed to match Hemsworth's athletic style. Costume designer Lucinda Wright introduced a refreshed look for Geralt's armor and Yennefer's wardrobe, reflecting the darker, more war-torn atmosphere. Cinematographers and directors from Season 3 returned to maintain continuity, but Netflix has hinted that tonal shifts, grittier lighting, realistic battles, and broader emotional range will distinguish this chapter. Together, these creative choices aim to give The Witcher its most grounded and mature season yet. What comes after the final season? Netflix has already confirmed that Season 5 will serve as the grand finale of The Witcher, concluding Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri's intertwined destinies. Production on the 5th season began immediately after Season 4 wrapped, ensuring narrative continuity and allowing the creative team to maintain a consistent tone across the final 2 chapters. Season 5 will adapt the concluding novels The Tower of the Swallow and The Lady of the Lake, bringing the saga full circle with Ciri's ultimate confrontation with fate and the culmination of the continent's wars. Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich has described the final season as the true end of the saga we set out to tell, promising closure for all 3 leads. Though Netflix has hinted at possible future spin-offs, such as new Witcher schools or prequel arcs, the main storyline will end here. By concluding the adaptation on its own terms, The Witcher aims to deliver a satisfying finale worthy of Sapkowski's legacy.